So let me begin by introducing myself. That's the. I'm sure you have the name on your program, but just in case you would want to get my contacts, there they are. The Safaricom one is WhatsApp compliant. The Airtel one is not. The email has never been hacked, and they can't attempt. I change my password every 3 months. So I'll give you just about 1 minute for those who want to get a contact right over there. This is the story of a young man. This young man was born just a few years before Kenya's independence. As he grew up a very healthy young man, through and through, in Nairobi, and working in different parts of the globe. And yeah, that's the guy. And ladies and gentlemen, why have I come to talk to you about that young man? That young man that I showed you has a message for you. The message he has for you is cancer can be prevented, and thank you so much, doctor. I saw you really emphasizing on that one. That was very nice. This is something I post all the time on my social media platforms. Cancer can be managed, and cancer can be cured. And cancer diagnosis is not a death sentence. It's something I keep on shouting on the social media, and because people need encouragement. Now when they hear that, so for that reason, I still like encouraging people and telling them I am committed to stopping cancer. And I'm ready to partner with all of you. I have worked with the National Cancer Institute before, and they even did a small clip about me earlier on. Now, what's the story of Ezekiel? That is Ezekiel Libamira in 2007. Now, this is the story of the gentleman who was recovering in that picture you're seeing after going through 33 sessions of radiotherapy at the Kenyatta National Hospital. And after having gone through 6 cycles of chemotherapy. And I can't forget what you're seeing. Remember, I'm saying already recovered. I had lost about 50 kilos. According to Dr. Abdallah, I think, head of
Kenyatta,
yes, she said to me, when you lose 20% of your weight suddenly, you're on the verge of death. I lost 42% of my weight. I will be sharing with you the journey I went through as a result of that weight loss and the cancer journey. And that picture you're seeing there, now I could eat. And I'll tell you when I mean I could now eat. The green stuff you're watching there is, anybody else heard of murenda? Mm-hmm. Yes, murenda was the only food that could pass through the mouth. Any other couldn't. And the ugali had to be forced, very soft ugali, etc. And so as a result, I could only eat murenda, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'll be sharing more on that in a short while. You can see the effects of radiotherapy around my neck. Because they used to do 5 minutes here, 5 minutes here, and 5 minutes here every day, Monday to Friday. And by the grace of God, ladies and gentlemen, after 1 year, before I go into after 1 year, look at this person here. And look at this guy here. I remember many times, I meet people, I call you by name, you look at me and you pass. I wouldn't get annoyed. I realized this is somebody who is unable to recognize me. Are we together? And it happened a lot in Nairobi. Just picture yourself wherever you are. Remove 50 kilos from your body. I don't know, don't even try to think about it. And so if you meet that person, and then you're told this is that guy, definitely it will scare you. I remember I met a lady, a very senior lawyer in the country. She was once upon a time the head of FIDA, and I'd gone to see a friend at the Nairobi hospital. They call me Zach, by the way, in the marketplace. Zach or Uncle Zach. She came and asked me, did you go for a diet, slimming diet? Then I told her, no, I suffered cancer. She almost screamed. And we together, and I wouldn't blame them. I understood all that. After exactly 1 year, I regained 5 kilos. From 50, I regained 5 kilos after exactly 1 year. What's going on with this? Letting me down? I'm so sorry. After 1 year and 1 month, I recorded some improvement. So one day, I got to see my family doctor, who is an ENT now retired, and she checks me and she tells me, Zach, this is just congested nostrils. She gives me some medicine, don't ask me the name, and tells me it will clear in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, it got worse. And meanwhile, the pain I am getting is shifting. Every other day, shifting from one place to another. One time, I'm going to see a dentist. And before I see the dentist, the pain was too much. I go look for a second opinion. The problem with us Kenyans, maybe it's the right thing to do, I don't know. When you look for a second opinion, you are going to a different doctor. So I walked into the Nairobi's ENT clinic at the Nairobi Hospital, and I found, I'll mention his name, a very good doctor, Dr. Nyawanda. I've never met him again, but he was so good to me. He checked me and told me, do not go to a dentist. Let's do some tests for you, the tests you talk about. And he did some tests here, and he told me, I think you need to go for a CT scan. Then he texts me, talks very slowly, very clearly, very eloquent, and he says, if the CT scan confirms that you have a tumor, we will take you and do a biopsy. The first time in my life to hear the word biopsy. So I never understood what biopsy is. And I go for the CT scan, and I come back and I pass it on to him, and he confirms there is a tumor. He says, now you have to go for biopsy. Thank God it was next door. A doctor, one of the team doctors, and they did a biopsy on me. I thought they were going to... And I said, but this is somewhere Ukundani. But then they have to do it through the nose. And they did what they call, in a layman's language, local anesthesia. I suffered the worst pain I've ever suffered in my life. Then friends got into denial. My business partner was driving my car, and he drives, you know the Nairobi Hospital roundabout? And he goes to the roundabout and leaves me there, and he walks out. I knew he was in denial. I could go on. And a number of people kept calling me, come and see me. Another gentleman told me, Zach, no, I am taking you to another doctor. He is more experienced. We have to get a third opinion. And he took me to another doctor, and this doctor was worse. And he tells me, where have you been? He shouts at me. This tumor is 5 months old. And I look at him, and he says, chemo and radio is not enough. He's shouting at me. He's an Indian doctor. I will not mention his name as well. And he says, we have to do debuff? Yes, first. And then we do chemo and radio. And then he writes there down the cost. By today's standard, the cost of treatment was going to be about 20 million bob. And I'm like, is this real? I wasn't satisfied. I went for another opinion. And I walked into Kenyatta Hospital, and I met a group of surgeons there, including now my family doctor. But then now she told to organize me. I've lost weight already. And they said no surgery. So I think we Kenyans, we believe, there's that belief in the marketplace, that surgery for cancer makes it worse. I'm sure we know that. There's that belief, and I was not an exception. And I said, no surgery for me. I didn't tell them, but I just kept quiet. Until these 3 surgeons said, no surgery for you. We'll do chemo and radio. Long short of the story, I began the journey of chemo and radio. I give credit to whom it is due. I did it under Dr. Catherine Nyongesa at the Kenyatta. She hadn't begun Texas and all that. And she was kind to me because of the connection of her friend, and she gave me the best prize. And because I had gone through certain challenges, and questions come, what is the cause of cancer, etc. Before I forget, Dr. Nyaga and another doctor, they listened to my story without asking me questions. They told me, stop smoking. I was so angry. I was so angry because this man in my life, I am heading to 70. I have never smoked. But I was already battling some serious challenge. I said, I'll spare him. And I left it there. 1, start my chemotherapy. The same day of chemotherapy, then I go for radio. Then what happens? On my way home, I was from Kenyatta Hospital all the way to Donholm. I threw the whole journey. I threw the whole journey, and I'm hungry and I'm feeling weak. And I get into an eatery and I ask, what can I take? And I take some watermelon fruits, and I go to their house and I take them, and in 30 minutes they're all done. This is where prayer works. I told God, give me sleep. By the way, that was the second time I was asking God to give me, not second, the second season. The first season is after my first chemotherapy. I told God, every other chemo, please give me sleep. I did not want to be awake when the chemo was going through my system. And it worked. Let me tell you guys, irrespective of who you believe in, prayer works. That I can tell you. Are we together? Then I throw. Before I know it, in 3 days, can I ask somebody a question? And you feel free to lift your hand up. Which is the sweetest soda? Let me see by a show of hand. Who wants to be the first one? Yes?
Fanta orange.
Fanta orange, okay. Fanta orange, honey, lost taste. Nothing had taste. In 3 days, I couldn't taste anything. I've lost my appetite. And then the next thing was, anytime I put food in the mouth, there's so much pain. So much pain. I got so dehydrated, my tongue would dry like a piece of wood. And when the tongue moves, watch this, you feel like a razor blade is passing over your tongue. And then you throw, and then I had mouth sores. You can give up. But then I decided, no, I've got life ahead there. Meanwhile, of course, a fundraising had been done for my treatment. The challenges come, but you have to find a way of getting a support system and find a reason to say, I must move on, I must leave. The doctors gave up. The bishops, do you have any bishops in the house? Maybe not here. They gave up. They would visit me, they would run away. Completely. And people would come and they would say, this guy is gone, he's not surviving. I was actually given 3 months, including some medics gave me 3 months. Ladies and gentlemen, I began my 16th year in February 7th this year of having 16 years. Having said that, by the way, this is also the result of the radiotherapy. My teeth keep falling. So I have a doctor who is working on giving me dentures. My teeth were complete. Are we together? So I began 16. Then when I was doing 10 years of post-cancer, I literally cried. Literally cried. Why did I cry? Do you want to know? No, you're not there. Do you want to know?
Yes.
I cried because I took a stroke. Everyone I knew, from the young to the old, who suffered cancer at the same time with me, except one girl that I served with her when they were launching the Africa Cancer Foundation. You saw she was in the media, except Princess. Everybody else, in 10 years, they had gone. I cried. The few times I would ask God, Nini, am I any special that you allowed me to live? And I asked God those questions of how do I move forward. But I'm glad to tell you, I am here 16 years post-cancer. I told God about 14 years ago, I want another 35 years. So I've got how many to go? 34 years to go. That's my story, ladies and gentlemen.